Hey man, you're supposed to have this thing fixed 2 weeks ago. What's up with that? I'm about to get pissed off.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on.
That's debatable.
Whatever makes your spout spit, brother. Now go get me that damn wrench. It's at 12.
Man, there ain't no wrenches in this truck.
We went to a tower one day, and man, it was bad. The guide wires was loose, and well, I got all suited up, was ready to head up the tower, and I go to the bottom of it and look up, and this thing's like all the way up it. And we walk out to the guide wires and shake the guide wires, and it's so bad loose. We wasn't even supposed to be there, but well, we called the boss and told him that the guide wire was loose and there wasn't no way to climb it. He said, well, there ain't nothing we can do, let's pack it up and go home. And there was an abandoned house right beside the job site, probably 200-300 yards in the woods. Well, me and my daddy went over there to climb in the house, and when we went in the house, we was looking around. There wasn't really nothing in there. Everything was gone. And we seen this chair, an old rocking chair. And I went to flip it over, and when I flipped it over, here come a possum. And Daddy said, get the possum. I said, all right. I reached down, put my foot on its neck, and grabbed the possum, and picked it up and put it in my arms and was petting it like a cat. Ever since then, everybody called me Possum.
Well, I was telling everybody at work, you know, Derek being one of the everybody's, and I was telling them I wanted to get a mullet. And they're like, yeah, dude, you should do it, right? Well, I eventually got a mullet. And it's weird because everybody's attitude towards me kind of changed immediately. I'll walk in Jack's, you know, and get a free biscuit every morning. And everybody's like, why did you get that free biscuit? I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, it's the freaking mullet, man. It is the mullet, you know? It was really, I don't know if it's because I looked like I was homeless because I had a shagged out fucking mullet, but yeah, I got free food all the time, everywhere I went thanks to that mullet. I'm telling you, it's because of the mullet, because as soon as I cut it, all that was goodbye, you know, all of it. It was,
No more special treatment.
no more, yeah. I want freedom, not a boss.
what that is, not just what it isn't. I'll dig up the dirt, I'll throw down some seeds, 'cause the world needs more spinach, not more motherfuckers like me. I was up at work one day, I can't remember where we was, but we was working on a generator, and we changed all the fluids, changed the oil, changed the antifreeze, done all that, and was letting it run to make sure nothing was leaking. Well, while we was letting it run, I was off in the bushes just goofing around, and I found a tree. It was 3 little trees. It was probably, I'd say about probably 8 foot apart, and I climbed up in them. And when I got to the top, I figured out it was good and sway. Well, I was swaying back and forth, and I reached the other tree. And when I grabbed it, I jumped across to it. And then I was jumping back and forth across those 2 trees. Well, I hollered at Tyler, and he come out there, and he got up in the other tree, and we was swinging back and forth, swapping trees. And well, I got to another one, and I looked over, and I was like, Tyler, think I can grab that tree? Oh no, man, I don't know. Well, I was about maxing that tree out on the swaying, and when I went to sway out, I made it almost, and I grabbed the tree, and when I grabbed it, I had my legs wrapped around the first tree, and as soon as I went to let go of my left arm to grab the other tree so I could hang on, the limb broke. And when the limb broke, man, it all went downhill from there. Tree started swaying back and forth, and I couldn't keep my legs on it. When my legs come off, the only thing I can look up and see is the ground. The only thing I can think is backflip. Well, I backflipped, and somehow I landed, and I'm still here now. I don't know how, but I'm here now.
How far of a fall was it?
It was at least 20 foot, at least.
We'll do this one next. So the Omnia Music Fest.
Oh man, Omnia was crazy. So, Omnia Festival is like this little hippie festival in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's just like a 20-acre field. They fence it off. They don't let the police come in, and everybody's tripping balls on acid. Right? That's the whole idea of this festival. These guys are just fucking crazy. So we're 30 feet up in the, I mean, we had tent city built, like if you can imagine, we cut a path through the trees and then opened it up, and everybody had all their tents set up. Well, there was guys 30 feet up in the trees just swinging on their hammocks, and they're all on LSD, you know, just fucking, it was crazy. We had big fire, you know. One funny story that sticks out to me is I was smoking a rolled cigarette. It looks like I'm smoking a joint, and I'm done with it. It's like this long, you know. I'm done with it, so I flick it in the fire, and some guy standing next to me, he's like, "You're a fucking asshole." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I would have smoked that." I was like, "It was a rolled cigarette." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I thought it was a joint." You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then another thing, the naked man, the naked guy. So, we cut that path through the trees, and it kind of cut off to the left if you walk through it. So we couldn't see what was going on out in the field. And apparently there was a big fucking naked dude walking around. And I mean big. This dude was like 6 foot tall. His name was Michael. He actually got arrested in Huntsville, Kroger, for giving people hugs, right? That's the kind of dude this guy was. I mean, he was just out there. So, all I hear is him yelling, the naked guy, and I don't know what's going on, so I scream out real loud, and I'm like, "Hey!" You know, just fucking with him. And he come popping around the corner where we made that cutout, just slong, swinging, butt naked with a staff in his hand. And he was asking this riddle. He was like, "What's free? It's everywhere. It's everybody's got it, you know?" And I'm like, "Love." And he's like, "Yeah." He tries to give me a hug. I take off running. You know, I don't want nothing to do with that. It's just, it was a trip, man. And the funny thing is, Michael, the naked guy, I was walking down the road downtown Huntsville, and I saw him on a bike. I was like, "Hey, I know you." He was like, "Yeah, I remember you." He was like, "Do you want a burrito?" And I was like, Sure. And he pulled out a burrito out of his book bag, and it was still hot. It was still hot burrito. It blows my mind. I don't know where he got the burrito from, but it was hot, and it was good. It was a good burrito. And I'd love to be a big ball of meat that bees can buzz around and eat. Feast on my liver, rot out my teeth, chew on my eyeballs until I'm deceased. 'Cause I deserve displeasure. I really want to cry. I think you should spit in my face, 'cause I am a werewolf.
Where did that come from?
It's just a crazy song.
There was also a story about how fucked up extension ladders are.
Oh yeah, they're crazy, dude. I've climbed a lot of towers, and I've never been as scared as I've been on a 30 or a 40 or a 60-foot extension ladder. They bend, and you're not hooked off to anything. There's nothing really you can do about that. And you're not gonna climb all the way down that 40-foot extension ladder and pick that heavy motherfucker up and then slide it over 3 feet. You're just gonna take it and you're gonna hop over and lean as far as you can to reach whatever you gotta do. At the time I was hanging gutters. I think it was a 40-foot extension ladder, and it started sliding because I had jumped over too far, maybe a little bit too far, and I was leaning off to the side as well, and it started sliding down the wall. Well, the only thing I knew to grab onto would be the gutter that I was hanging up. And luckily, I guess the gutter screws were good and the wood was good, because it just bing, 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 set me down on the ground. It sliced my hand because the edge of the metal and everything like that. But I was good. I was just fine. I actually finished the day working that day.